So you anticipate the event, bid up the price, and then sell on the news. Now, but that will be very short term, because what we think is going to happen here is that the SEC is going to be giving Bitcoin, a spot Bitcoin ETF, the green light for institutional investors to participate. I think a lot of institutions have been reticent before the SEC approves.
Hey guys, welcome back to Everyday Finance. In this video, Cathie Wood about Bitcoin. According to Cathie Wood, something did alter in the last 6 months, weeks later following multiple denials times by the SEC, without receiving a response from anyone working with the SEC. We know that both we and others have received inquiries from the SEC, quite careful, meticulous technical queries. Well, that's a really wise decision. And there are more than one set of inquiries or follow-up inquiries that is excellent. You inquire as to whether the SEC data-driven. Cathie said, "We've got the opportunity to meet with many others well. Some of the researchers' SEC division dedicated to digital assets or digital resources, and we've located them to be exceedingly considerate, informed, actually a somewhat consoling. To be honest, since we would prefer not to have an ETF, a spot Bitcoin ETF, in order to receive approval light if any ambiguities exist, anything the SEC might possess. Therefore, Cathie would believe we're addressing each of the ambiguities individually. Each filer seeks a position in Bitcoin ETF. Cathie believed the conversations are quite encouraging, and Cathie Wood believed the future looks bright for a Bitcoin ETF, which we do believe will launch in January. And lots of things Cathie would discuss, so please watch the video to end. And share this video, and subscribe our channel Everyday Finance. Thanks.
It did change within the last month to 6 weeks. After being denied several times by the SEC without hearing from anyone at the SEC, we and others we know have gotten questions from the SEC, very thoughtful, detailed, technical questions. That's a very positive move, and it's not just one set of questions, it's follow-up questions. That is really good. Now, you ask if the SEC is data-driven. We have had the opportunity, as many others have, to meet a number of the research people within the SEC focused on crypto assets or digital assets. And we have found them to be extremely thoughtful, extremely knowledgeable, and actually a great source of comfort, frankly, because we don't want an ETF, a spot Bitcoin ETF, to get the green light if there are any uncertainties that the SEC may have. So I think we're answering those uncertainties one by one, each of the filers for a spot Bitcoin ETF. And I think the dialogues are very positive. And I think the outlook is bright for a spot Bitcoin ETF. And we do think it will be in January. Famous last words, don't want to say we know anything, because we don't, but it's just the actions of the SEC that are leading us to that conclusion. Well, in the very short term, because of the big move we've had, and it's an anticipatory move based on the expectation that a spot Bitcoin ETF will be approved, one or more, and it probably is more. So there has been a big anticipatory move. Those who have been moving in and enjoying some nice profits will probably, quote unquote, sell on the news. That's an expression that traders use. So you anticipate the event, bid up the price, and then sell on the news. Now, but that will be very short term, because what we think is going to happen here is that the SEC is going to be giving Bitcoin, a spot Bitcoin ETF, the green light for institutional investors to participate. I think a lot of institutions have been reticent before the SEC approves a spot Bitcoin ETF to do very much at all in the crypto asset world. And all we need is for the trillions of dollars in institutional assets out there to allocate maybe 0.1% or 0.2% to an ETF, which will be one of the easiest ways to gain exposure and one of the most efficient ways to gain exposure to Bitcoin. And that will move the price significantly. And just for some perspective here, right now we're at 19.5 million Bitcoin outstanding. The system is mathematically metered to stop at 21 million units. So scarcity value is beginning to have an impact, especially because as we look at long-term holders, those holding and not moving Bitcoin for 1 year, those are up to 15 million units or 15 million Bitcoin.
According to Cathie Wood, looking at our competitive advantages, we think there are 3 in particular, and all of this is generally known. It's not a secret, but since 2014, we've been researching Bitcoin, our first paper, and we were out there, hammering as others were saying. The drum stating that our distribution partners' salespeople have been educating us about this new asset class, and advisors over this period as a result of our holdings of Bitcoin in our portfolios, and they had to comprehend what it was about, how crucial and significant financial commitment we believed we were going to be successful, because we have 3 full-time cryptocurrency analysts and have been there for a very long time. We were there early on. The other advantage we currently possess is a partner in 21 Shares, which is the largest entity. Pure Play Crypto ETP is a global exchange-traded product provider based in Europe that has recently debuted 40 funds during the previous 5 years, so it has already experienced booms and busts and been put to the test. Others who are in the running are unable to state the same thing. So yes, we are attempting to highlight your strongest points while keeping in mind that everyone has their own strong points. Let's back to the Cathie Wood interview.
A few, and it will be the most liquid. And so if we're looking at our competitive advantages, we believe there are 3. One is, and this is all well known, this is no secret, but doing research on Bitcoin since 2014. That was our first paper. And as others were naysaying it, we were out there banging the drum saying, this is a new asset class. And our salespeople, our distribution partner, has been educating and advisors over this time because we have held GBTC in our portfolios, and they needed to understand what it was all about and how important and profound an investment we thought it was going to be. So we thought we've been there for a long time. We were there very early. We know a lot about it, and we have 3 full-time crypto analysts. Now, the other thing that we have going for us is a partner in 21 Shares, and 21 Shares is the largest pure play crypto ETP, so exchange traded product provider in the world. It's located in Europe. It has launched 40 funds in the last 5 years, so it has been through booms and busts already and has been tested. So, and others who are in the running cannot say the same thing. Right. So, yeah, we're trying to obviously emphasize those strong points. Others have their own strong points as well, and those who have the most liquidity have the most to win. We do think often in the ETF world, it is winners, right. 1 or 2 or 3 maybe winners take most. Yeah. And one other thing just to emphasize, we have in the last few months launched 5 crypto ETF, digital asset ETFs based on the futures, which the SEC has approved. And we've wanted to do it for a few reasons. One is to prove that we have the infrastructure provider as a partner, and that the rails are working, and they are.
According to Cathie Wood, when the worry of rising interest rates gave way to the reality of those rates actually rising, the innovation was in a true bear market, top innovation stocks. After paying our dues in interest rates this year, we focused our portfolio on the companies we were most confident in are rising. Cathie Wood said, "We believe that the worst of it is behind us, and what you're seeing now is that we're diversifying once more and adding back stocks, some of which we sold, and we anticipate success, particularly in the AI sector, but also in other innovation-related fields. If you learned something from this video, then please like this video and subscribe our channel Everyday Finance, and we will meet in next video. Thanks."